Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Special night here tonight. Yeah, this is Pete and Grada, and we're hiding behind the flowers.
Today is our wedding anniversary.
39 years we've been married today, and we've been together for longer than that. Probably 42 years or something like that. Oh no, 40.
No, 40.
Oh, yeah. Seems like a long time.
We've known each other 40.
Yeah.
Been wedded 39.
So tonight we thought it would be fun to share with you some things that we wished we'd known 40 years ago, or 20 years ago, or even 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And we want to share some, foundational things that will help you today, so you can have a good life and don't need to learn everything backwards like we did. And first of all, I want you to know that when you marry somebody, or you have a significant other in your life, you choose that person apparently because that person displays all your subconscious mind's shadow sides, or rather we project that.
Reflecting things back to you so you can learn them.
Yeah, so you can become a whole person, because our journey in life is actually, the meaning of life is not happiness. The meaning of life is actually to become whole, and that means to bring all of your energies home again and become, so they can take up residence in your nervous system where they belong. Anyway, so of course Pete and I, we're kind of two extremes, as you can tell already. So we've had our fair share of knocking big, enormous chunks of each other.
Certainly have.
And I also believe, in hindsight, that if you treat your marriage as a business, you probably have higher success rate, actually, because we've been married for 40 years nearly, plus we've always had businesses too. And in hindsight, I can tell that if we were a little bit more business-like sometimes about our relationships, our lives would be a lot better. Because, for instance, let's say in your business, if something doesn't work, you have a talk about it, and then you say, well, that needs to go, we'll chop that part.
Sit down and have a meeting and back to the drawing board.
That's right. But if that's the same in your marriage, you don't talk. Well, Pete and I'll let Pete talk.
Your relationship with money, business, and your relationship with people are all the same, really.
Well, actually, in the first place, you're married to yourself. That's like absolute key. But I've always known that. But it didn't really help me that much. That was at least something that I knew. And I used to think, well, how can I help the situation here? Or how can I help myself here? But I really still didn't have the tools. But I just wanted to say, Pete and I, we met when we were quite young, and then I married and moved to Tasmania with him. Then we had 6 children, one after the other, quite young as well. Finished having kids when I was 31, and we never had any money because we were idealistic. So we actually, when we migrated back to Tassie, we didn't have any dollars or anywhere to live, but I was pregnant. And we just kept going down that same trajectory, being highly idealistic. We always thought we follow our heart's calling first, and the money will come later, which is actually true. It always worked out that way, but it was a hard way of doing it, and I'm not sure if I would recommend it again, because we fought a lot. Like on top of that. So we had incredible pressure. Then we moved, it was our dream anyway, to homestead. So we lived in a very isolated farm. And then there were also cultural differences between Pete and me, because
Grada came from a highly populated city area of Holland and landed in the back blocks of Tasmania.
Which was partly my choice.
But it would have been a total shock to her system, really. I was used to it. I grew up here. But
yeah, and Pete was also very quiet and polite. And if things were like negative, what people call negative, he didn't open his mouth, whereas I did, because I think there's no such thing as negativity. I think you're just only realistic and you talk about things that you talk about things that you feel or think. Otherwise, what's the point of being married? But Peter didn't think like that.
Well,
so we struggled along for probably for the first 20 years of your life. That's what I meant to say. If there's something in your business that doesn't work, you can just say, all right, let's just edit that part out or chop it out or do something about it.
That didn't work, so...
Or invest some more money in it. But when it came to our marriage, we weren't that smart, were we? Because Peter just shut up and put up, and I used to get more dramatic till I sometimes shut up as well. So, and... but it's all good, actually.
Probably if there wasn't any arguments and ups and downs, we wouldn't be here today.
Yes, we would have.
Well, we may not have been.
Yeah, maybe not. Anyway.
Because we've certainly grown, but it would have been good if we had have known today what we
know now. So
know.
that's why we want to have a little bit of, we wrote down a few points that are important, that we think are important for everyone to know. Because now we're like the elderly couple, but we're still very active. We call ourselves the modern elders, and I want to stay modern and, get younger but still be old for the rest of my life, because I really enjoy this age group. So the first thing, we believe that the glue that keeps everything together isn't per se love, but I guess it's true. It's humanity. It's that you're a human being. And so I married Peter because of his unique humanness, right? Because of his flaws as much as his strengths. And I love all of that.
Which he wants me to change all the time.
That's right, because, there's always room for change. I'm not saying improvement. And that changes from day to day, too. That keeps it exciting. So the key is always be yourself. I think, Peter and I have made many mistakes, really. We've just floundered along, and as parents, too. But as a family, I can say we're pretty close now. We've come through, and... I think what saved us was really that we didn't pretend to be any different than what you see. What you see is what you get, even with Pete as well. So we've always been authentic. My children have seen my ugliest sides, and Peter's as well, and also my neediness, and they've seen how I worried, but they've also seen how I loved, how I fought, and they've been part of all that, of all our battles. And it helped them to be connected to their humanness as well, or humanity. And that includes shame as well, and vulnerability, so things that we're ashamed of. I think I've probably found it easier.
Being connected, you get more connectedness if you are more vulnerable.
Yeah. And so Brene Brown, you might have heard of Brene, I'll put a link in it. She studied shame for about 10 years, and she realized that without shame there wouldn't be any communities at all in the world. So that's really interesting. I'll share that link with you. So that is my first take. And Pete, what do you want to say?
Well, another thing is something that will overcome all the little problems is to have a great big dream and goals and dreams that are out of this world, that make the little things that happen in life seem insignificant if we keep on dreaming big and keep our dream. Because if we don't dream, we die. That's a saying, I think.
And if you die, you still need to dream big, by the way, because I nearly died, as you know, when I got hit by a truck. And the thing that immediately saved Peter and me was like that we started to create a new dream straight away. Like, we modified our old dream, which was, we were in the middle of upgrading our wellness center, we were actually in a growth period when I got hit by a truck that caused us to shrink dramatically. And so we adjusted our dream, but then I think at every stage of your life you need a new dream or something fresh that really catch your fires going, that gives you lots of energy, and you need to give yourself permission to be totally unrealistic. Like your dream needs to be so big that think, well, this can never happen.
But
Otherwise, it's not worth it.
Don't get down on yourself if the dream doesn't become a reality.
Also give yourself permission to change your mind.
Yeah, and it's the dream that gives you the excitement and feeling and energy. If it does become a reality, you need a new dream then to keep going. And,
well, that's worked well for us anyway. Even though our kids probably sometimes go like, oh no, go away, we don't want to hear that, your new project. But it can be a dream like, for a global dream too, by the way, like that the whole world lives in harmony, that all people are safe, women and children are safe, that everyone is treated with respect and honor, that everyone is intelligent and so on, that people have enough to eat, that people know how to look after themselves and so on. Like it can be really out of this world dream, because that's how you wake up the universe, right? Otherwise the universe goes to sleep. Like if you can barely just make it through the day and think, oh, I'm just so looking forward to my Netflix tonight and every night a glass of wine, then you're not going to wake up the universe. That's okay sometimes, of course. It's just helped us to that when our life was really, really difficult at times and we had huge challenges, that the bigger the challenge, the bigger your dream needs to be. And like I said, it needs to be totally unrealistic, like not something to do with something that you can create yourself. You need to be able to rely on the universe to help you as well. That's when the miracles happen. So I hope we've explained it properly.
There's another couple of points that seem as if they the opposites. What's the word for opposites?
Contrary or counterintuitive.
Yeah, but is live every day as your last, but then also live as if you've got 50 years to live.
Okay, so how does that work?
Yeah.
Do you want to explain it? Okay, I'll do the easy one. Live every day as your last one is easy. So, for instance, when Peter bought me those beautiful flowers, he might have thought, oh no, they're too expensive. And then he would have immediately thought, oh no, this could be my last anniversary with Grada or something like that. I'm just making this up now. Right? So if it comes to making this from decisions, the small choices that we make every day, like shall we go for a drive to to the Fourth Falls today, or shall I hang out the washing or whatever? I have lots of stuff to do. What would you do if today was your last day? And that really makes it more exciting.
Yeah. Listen to your intuition. What prompts you to do things?
Don't shut it down.
Don't shut it down.
Pete, you can explain what it means at the same time. Plan every day as if you still have another 50 years to live.
Well, if we don't plan, we plan to fail, really. So we do need to sit down and have a plan, step-by-step plan to live our dream, but then live every day. The journey is the thing that we have to enjoy. It's not the end product, it's the journey.
Mm-hmm. So I'll pull it back into a small illustration, right? Again, talking about myself. If I'm planning to be around for another 50 years, that's how I need to live my life. So I feel like having a bottle of wine now, but I'm not having a bottle of wine because I've just sworn myself off wine, right? Because I needed a glass of wine every night in the last year or so, and I'm not doing that anymore. So because I'm planning to live another 50 years, I'm going to have a yummy cup of herbal tea in a minute. And
some exercise every day is something that will keep
because
us
I want to keep my
fit
brain,
and healthy.
My marbles really, really sharp, and I want to stay as fit as. So that's how I'm planning to live another 50 years and rest well. Like if I thought, oh well, I'm dying tonight, I would have a bottle of wine now because I enjoy it. Okay. So this is a bit extreme, but I'm just going through a period where I'm upgrading my body. So upgrade your body every day. And so drink more water, rest well, have your salt, have your iodine, have your supplements that give you a new body and
give your cells good energy.
Yeah. So Pete, what do you need to do to live another 50 years? Because Peter doesn't care about wine much, so he doesn't seem to have any temptations.
We've actually
frustrates me.
we've actually both of us have decided to have more fun this year as well.
Okay.
Because if we, but yeah, fun in
just to laugh more,
and be a bit spontaneous and silly and laugh and be like you see kids.
I think that
children.
works really well for Pete because Peter doesn't have many vices. Actually, he has really nothing to give up on. Unlike me. No, so he may as well have a bit more fun, and I give him permission to have a bit more fun. Yeah? Okay. So...
how much will that cost?
Unless he wants a new tractor or something and have fun on that, that's a bit different. I'll put my foot... No, he can have that as well. Joy is important, and fun is also important. And just laugh about silly things all the time, like with our grandchildren, when they break something, and just laugh about all the little things in life.
But to make your exercise and your work and everything fun as well. Don't take life too serious or your exercise too serious. And make it a fun thing to do. That's more what I was talking about.
So and then. Okay, Peter, you can talk about point 5.
Never stop growing. So you can ask yourself the question, what can I do today that'll help me grow? Because if we stop growing, you're shrinking. We're not going further on. So we have to ask ourselves questions at times. So
Peter, he likes to listen to inspiring podcasts first thing in the morning when he has breakfast, or go listen to podcasts when you have a walk, or when he feeds the ducks. He looks at nature around him, and he gets a message from that. And also challenges. Love, by the way, love is challenging. Love is meant to challenge you. So even staying in a marriage helps us grow, doesn't it, Peter?
Well,
Apparently, love is challenge and discipline, challenging and a mixture of all of that. Anyway.
But still, it's.
And so the other thing, what helps you to grow is that in every situation you ask yourself, what am I not seeing here? Like, is there something I'm not seeing here? So that's a really good one too, because actually we only ever see 1/1000th of reality. So Peter's reality is naturally different to mine. He sees his billionth, I see mine, and my children see different billionth of reality. And my animals see different sides.
And we often believe that we're right when we see things. And
only you do, actually.
But we also have to ask ourselves, is that true?
Yeah. So but I really like that question, what am I not seeing here? That gives me lots of food for thought, and I'll see something else, because it stimulates my brain to see something else. And it's like playing Sherlock Holmes with life. And Peter, there were some other good questions. What was it? What can I give today? What can I give, and what can I celebrate? Of course, that's a really, really important one. What can I celebrate today? So,
that's kind of in tune with gratitude, being grateful, celebrate.
Celebrate that you're still breathing, and there's always the sun is still shining, and there's lots to celebrate.
And that we've had a beautiful rainy day today. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Pete and I have another really good one that ages ago we stopped kind of caring so much. I stopped caring what Peter thought about me. Actually, I think I was about 40, and I'm 58 now, when I suddenly had that realization and a real sense of freedom that came with it, that I thought, well, I don't I didn't say it in those words, but I say it now though. I don't give an F what Peter thinks about me. But I used to keep that to myself, but now we have a real practice where we look in each other's eyes. I bet not swearing because you'll get a shock. But in reality, we look into each other's eyes. I'll just pretend you're Peter, like when you're listening, and I just say to Pete, I don't give an F what you think about me. And if I feel, and we look in each other's eyes, and then Peter says the same to me, and if we feel that's bringing up tension between us, we keep saying it till that tension is released. Because Peter and I, we stifled each other for at least 20 years, where we really stifled each other because we were just always so worried. It's like a dance. Well, what would Peter say?
We're often in that dance with in every relationship.
Yeah, like
we're worried what other people think, and what other people think about you is none of your business anyway. Is another good.
We definitely used to stifle each other a lot till, like I said, when I was 40. In my days, the 40s were the time that women used to wake up and step into their independence. And I just felt, well, the girl that Peter married when I was 19, that girl that's not me anymore, and I'm fine with that. But it took Pete a little while to catch up, maybe 5 years, to realize, hey, that girl really did die, and I'm married to somebody else now. Anyway, and it's just so freeing, though. I would encourage every couple, if you're in a close relationship with somebody else, to practice that. Just look at in each other's eyes with love, though, with love and compassion, and say it to yourself, because you're saying it for yourself as much as to your partner. So it's not aimed at him, it's for you being comfortable with that. And I say it to my children too. I do the same exercise. I stare them in the eye, and I say, I don't give an F what you think about me. And I even make them say it to me as well, which they find really, really hard. But I want my children to have more freedom as well.
And one of
the cat really wanting to know.
One of the other things is, unconditional love for yourself.
In the first place.
That'll change every relationship. Our cat's going to knock our camera over shortly. He's come to sniff the flowers.
The cat wants attention. Okay, I'll pick him up. Oh, he's big fat putty. Look, you're immortalized now.
Rastus.
Yeah. All right. So, your relationship really, really bad. Everything, your whole life does a dramatic turnaround when you make the commitment to love yourself unconditionally first. And so every day I talk to myself. We do a lot of self-talk, all of us do. Whether you're on a path of personal growth or not, you still talk to yourself. And we send ourselves 60,000 negative messages every single day. And, hit cat's back on the table, sorry. So, when I get caught in a bit of a negative spiral, I just stop that spiral by telling myself I love myself unconditionally, and I just put my hand on my heart, and straight away that creates change as well. I feel a chemical change in my body that's sustainable, and it's like paying it forward. And for instance, since Peter committed to loving himself unconditionally, I find him much more lovable too. He's so much more easy to love because he's doing the hard work himself, right?
Well, I'm loving myself, so I am more lovable.
That's right, and I'm loving myself. Yeah. And then I'm much easier for Peter to love too.
Yeah, it is.
I'm pinching him now, so he has to say that right.
It's an amazing thing for any relationship.
That's right. So when I love myself and Peter loves himself, at least as much as we are capable, of course, because that's like a lifelong journey. And then those two loves meet, that feels really, really amazing in between us. So, here's the cat again, sorry.
He's wanting to disrupt it.
Yeah. That's enough talk, he goes, and now he wants us to talk about the cat. All right, so I think that's probably enough for one night. So
we just hope that everyone can take a few pointers on board and improve.
You become a better mom, like for
have good relationships.
For women, it's really important to be a good partner as well as a good mom, right? That's where we feel a lot of our angst and anxiety comes from, the way we see ourselves as a mom. But when you love yourself first and foremost, and also give yourself a good chunk of the day, like spend some energy and dedicate that time for you, your children are definitely, they're just going to sense such a big difference. And that's the one thing I wished I'd known when I was being a helicopter mom, of 6 kids for the first 25 years of my mothering, that I had a stronger sense of self-care and self-love. So if I had, even when I come back, I hope I come back with that level of consciousness, and it makes our marriage so much better too.
To have unconditional love in your other relationships too.
Because that's right, you're pouring out of your cup what's in your cup, right? And if that's what's in your cup, everyone is going to drink from that, and they feel that, and it's like beautiful for everyone else too. So I'm going to say that's probably the most important thing, and we left it for last. Really, we left it till the last decade in our lives, and so this is something that we're absolutely committed about, aren't we? And
often we react, trigger each other, and we go with a reaction rather than if we say to each other, I don't give a F what you think about me, then that reaction doesn't occur anymore.
Yeah, but you have to know when to say that.
Yeah, but it's said in.
That's right. That's actually, we say that to each other as part of our morning meditation or something like that, or sometime during the day when we're in a good mood. But we're not saying that to each other to punish each other, which is something we would have probably done in the past, right?
It's not done in reaction.
No, that's right. And if I do feel a reaction in my body, I just quickly tell myself how cute that is, right? And I think, there's that funny reaction again, isn't that cute or something? Look how cute it is. I just talk to myself. Peter doesn't know that I talk. Or how lovely that is, or how lovable that is. And I turn it around so the trigger is gone, and then hopefully it's gone for good. And, I'll get triggered by something else. So, Pete, I have a surprise question.
For me?
Yeah. What do you love most about me? I'll give him a minute to think. That's a surprise question. I'll just give Peter. Okay, what do you hate about me? What do you love about me? What do you hate about me?
When Grada is silent, I don't like it at all.
Oh, okay. I was just going to say he loves it.
Well, I love you. Love you talking. Because I'm a quiet one, but sometimes Grada thinks I want to be quiet, but if she's quiet, I don't like it. Okay. I love her being chatty and sharing things with me, even though I'm not such a sharing person in being talkative.
That's beautiful, thank you. That actually still surprises. We still have a surprise after all these years. Is there anything at all that you hate about me?
I'll tell you later.
No, you can tell me.
No.
Yeah, all right, then I'll say something. Now, this is the real fun part. Okay. I love Peter. What I really love about him is that he is so manly, right? But sometimes I hate that as well, so okay. But because, with guys, they always feel, not always, this might be generalization, they like to be right though about the facts.
Right.
And that can be really annoying, but at the same time I love that about Peter too, because to be honest, he is mostly right, like 99.9% of the time he is right. So, but sometimes that's a bit annoying at the same time. And what I love about Pete is that he is so jolly patient and perceptive, and he just keeps going, like when it's in the middle bit, you know, when it's a lot of drudgery and in life and the, how do you say it, the unglamorous jobs and all that. Peter just does it without complaining and without, he never needs any significance.
I don't show my complaint.
I can tell.
Well,
But anyway,
something that I probably don't like is if I go to do something, I'm about to do it, and I get told to do it.
Actually, you should change, but Pete, that's not really what happens. What happens is I ESP into Peter's brain. This is true, actually. So Peter, he'll walk around the house, and then I ESP into his brain, and I might say something like, what can I say?
Can you do such and such?
Yeah, can you pick up the rubbish or something? Are you going to pick up the rubbish? That's more likely what I say. And then Peter thinks, I want him to pick up the rubbish, whereas I'm just thinking out loud, and I've already explained it a million times. Because he almost can't think anything without me knowing what he's thinking, which is a bit funny. But anyway, so that's it. Yeah, there'll always be things that are, you know, still going to trigger us, and that's fine.
That happens all the time, and it's growth, because we're still chipping pieces off the
block.
Yep, until it gets to a point when it can.
But I think the absolute key point is to be yourself, and don't say, "Oh, that's not possible." Like if Peter started to talk to me, and I would say to him, "That's not positive," or "Don't want to hear that." Some women say that to the husbands, right? Don't do that if you want to listen to my advice, because if your partner or you can't talk about the real nitty-gritty things, and some of them are ugly, and you could consider them to be negative, if you can't talk about it, they're going to be unexpressed energy between the two of you, and that's toxic. That's what people get confused. So just talk to each other in a very real way. So Pete and I, we have conversations about what I want when I die, or when Peter dies, and how I'm going to talk to Pete after I die. I tease him, right? Or if that was a possibility, right, I would be probably an annoying bird or something, and sit on his shoulder. Maybe I would be a cat.
Tap on the window each morning.
All right, something like that. So because it's good to talk about things that are scary as well, because that's what life's all about, and that gives us a lot of space to be ourselves with each other, and I think that helps you to feel fully alive, because the meaning of life is really to find meaning in your life, actually, and to find fulfillment as well, right? And happiness too, but happiness comes from being yourself. Yeah. Alrighty. Thanks for tuning in.
We better stop.
And I want to hear, your comments and what you love about your partnership, and what you struggle with. That would be really good too.
Yeah. You'll probably have some good pointers for us.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. What are you seeing in us that I'm not seeing? That's what I'd love to hear too. Okay, so thanks for being here with us tonight. And
give us your questions for next week. Have a good week.
Okay, big love to all of you, and see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.